It's weight loss cardio and standing abs for women of a certain age. Let's go. All right, killer bees, let's get moving and grooving, and that means that we are getting started with some arm circles and high knees. Oh my goodness, like we do. My friends, welcome to the workout. I'm Pahla B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and I have been looking forward to this workout all day long. You guys, I happen to love doing standing abs. I don't know about you. It might be your favorite thing. It might be your least favorite thing. It doesn't even really matter. Thank you for pressing play. I'm super glad you're here because today is going to be a super effective and efficient workout. And that is the name of the game as far as I'm concerned with weight loss. Here at our certain age, we just don't need to keep pushing harder and harder and harder. We actually just need to work out smarter. I know you've heard that before, but it really applies to us at this age. We've got the wisdom now to work out smarter, so let's go ahead and do that. In fact, let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers also. Our warm-up today is leading us to the most lovely, moderate, low impact, which simply means no jumping, but moderately intense cardio workout. Plus, I've got a super fun set of standing abs to finish off the day. Today, we are working on having some really good heart health. We're having stamina. We're having endurance. We're building our ability to balance more than a little bit. We are building our core strength. We are building all kinds of systems that are going to help us stay strong and steady for the rest of our lives while we are also losing weight. Because of course, you guys, I know you know, because you have already downloaded my free information resource, I know you know that weight loss is actually driven by eating the right number of calories every day. And the workouts are just the cherry on top. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. I feel like I've actually already kind of gotten started on this warm-up a little bit quick, and I want you to know that we are never going to go at full speed today. This moderate pace is exactly right for weight loss because we're not going to need to recover from this tomorrow. Tomorrow we can do another workout either exactly like this, either this one or something similar at a similar intensity every single day. About the same every day. And that moderation, that consistency, along with, of course, eating the right number of calories every single day, is exactly how we can lose weight at any age. You guys, here's what it looks like today. I've got the handy dandy gym boss set for intervals of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. I know, we actually get to rest today. And we're going to do each exercise 3 times in a row before moving on to the next thing. So it's kind of a repeating, no repeat. It's a little bit repeaty for repeating, no repeat. We're going to get started with day breaks, which means that we're going to have our hands up overhead while we're just gently tapping from side to side, hands rolling from side to side. Honestly, it's more like an extended warm-up. We're really getting our shoulders into this, really bringing up our heart rate, of course, by having our hands up over our head. Anytime your hands are over your head, your heart rate is going to come up. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and continue the little tapping from side to side. I'm not just going to stand stock still. Depending on what your heart rate is doing, you can help yourself. We're going to do that day breaks. Here we go with hands up overhead. 2 more times. This is our second of 3 times. You're going to hear me say that a lot today. If you're brand new here, I'm Pahla B. I don't count well. I was thinking about that when I was setting this up today. I was thinking, can I really count to 3? I think I can count to 3. I feel pretty good about counting to 3. Here's 10 seconds of rest. I know myself well. I am a very smart woman who gets distracted by talking. Here we go with the third and final time for these day breaks. Now here's the thing. I am going to probably have a couple of exercises today that are going to feel a little bit more intense than this one. This one really was intended to just start us off nice and gentle. We don't ever have to get going faster than this. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and coming up next we're doing twisting kicks. We're going to have our hands down, but we're really going to get our middles into it. Already starting to work on those abs a little bit. We're going to kick forward while twisting to the side. Now here's the thing. Depending on what feels moderate for you, you might get your hands into a little bit. Totally okay with me. I always want you to do what feels moderate for you. And moderate moderation is not something that I can tell you, oh yes, this exact thing, here's 10 seconds of rest. This exact thing is always moderate for all people at this pace. Your moderate is going to depend on lots of different factors. Twisting kicks again. Mostly it'll depend on your mobility, your current fitness. It also kind of depends on your fueling, your hydration, how well you slept last night, how good of a mood you're in, what time of day it is. There are all kinds of factors that affect how your heart rate feels, which is why I actually always encourage you, here's 10 seconds of rest by the way, it's why I always encourage you to go off of your perceived exertion. Here's our third and final time with twisting kicks, because I would much rather have you kind of pay attention and know what feels good for your body rather than trying to always either look at your heart rate or look at me or look at some standard as though there is a way that you can say this exact thing is moderate. Coming up next, we're doing rainbow jacks. Hands are going to go up overhead from side to side, kind of like those day breaks, but this time we're bringing up a knee. It's got a little bit more complicated. Bringing up one knee on one side, one knee on the other side. Definitely getting moving a little bit faster now. This, as you can tell, I can still talk in complete sentences. This is still moderate for me. This pace, this method of bringing my hands up and over, having my knee come up this high. If that doesn't feel moderate to you, take it down a notch. Take it up a notch. Take it wherever you feel great about what you're doing. I'm going to tell you though, here we go with rainbow jacks for the second time. Sometimes it feels great, but we're actually pushing a little too hard. When in doubt, you should be able to speak in complete sentences, think clearly, not feel like you are gasping for breath. 10 seconds of rest. Moderate should actually feel too easy. That is the thing that I go by when I am doing moderate workouts. Here we go with the third and final time for our rainbow jacks. You are going to finish this workout and think, well, that definitely wasn't too much. And that is exactly right for weight loss. My friends, the harder you push, the harder it is to lose weight. And I know that sounds super crazy and very counterintuitive. Here's 10 seconds of resting. Coming up next, we're doing windmill tap backs. Gonna have our hands wide, our feet wide. Gonna reach our opposite hand down towards our opposite foot. Nice and wide here. While we reach down, we're tapping back with that same foot. Now here's the thing, I say towards your opposite foot, I'm barely getting past my knees. Whatever you can reach, whatever feels good for you, we're thinking about good form, we're pulling in our core, but we're not trying to be like the best windmills we've ever made in our entire lives. We're just moving quickly with good form. Now the thing is, 10 seconds of rest here, and then we're gonna do the windmill tap backs 2 more times. What I was saying about moderation being almost too easy and not needing to work as hard as we did when we were younger, the thing about that is that our bodies don't recover from hard exercise the way they used to. We're still capable of exercising just as hard as we ever did. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next is our third and final time of those windmill tap backs. So you won't notice that you've done too much when you're doing too much. This is really the problem with it, frankly. You won't notice until tomorrow when you feel kind of stiff and sore. Or if you keep doing a little bit too much, not a lot too much, but a little bit too much, over time you'll notice I don't feel great, starting to feel kind of puffy, not losing weight or maintaining my weight. 10 seconds of resting. Coming up next, we're doing big arm side shuffles. I love this one. We're making big arms right in front of us while we're shuffling over to the side. So shuffling over like 1 or 2 steps. You could get this one rocking if you want to, or you can keep it nice and low. Whatever works for you always works for me. But the thing about not recovering, my friends, your body perceives that as stress. And when we have an excess of stress in our lives, in our bodies, our body has one thing that it does in response to that. It stores fat. Yes, it's true. Exercising too much can cause you to gain weight. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? I know, but it's true. Here's our second time with these big arm side shuffles, my friends. The thing about The thing about your body is it is amazing. Your body is a walking, talking miracle. But it also has some really interesting things that it does. Here's our 10 seconds of rest. And then coming up next, we're doing those big arm side shuffles for the third and final time. I think that might be the first time I have ever started the big arm side shuffles from that side. Did it feel weird to you too? I'm trying to mix things up a little bit, you know? Keeping it spicy, keeping it fun. When it beeps, we'll get 10 seconds of rest, and then we're moving on to our next exercise. Excellent job. Your body is beautiful. It's amazing. It's a miracle. We're doing walking stars next. We're stepping forward while putting that same hand up, other foot, other hand, and then back and back. We're switching leader feet, leader hands each and every time, which is what makes this difficult. You might know it as a box step or a V step. I also frequently call this pick an apple and put it in your pocket, because that's what we're doing. Picking an apple, putting it in our pocket. We're gonna get 10 seconds of rest right here, you guys. Your body always, always, always wants what's best for you. And your body has ways of telling you, here we go with walking stars again. Your body has ways of telling you what's best for you. When you are struggling to feel good, when you feel stiff and sore and achy and not good, when you are gaining weight or having a hard time maintaining your weight, those are things that your body is doing that are telling you. Here's 10 seconds of rest. We're going to do those walking stars for the third and final time coming up next. Those are signals from your body that it's time to take things down a notch. Walking stars, third and final time. I have a big cough coming. My throat is a little bit dry, and I apologize because it's going to be right loud in your ear if you're listening with headphones. When it beeps again, I'm going to cough, and we're going to get 10 seconds of rest. You're doing such a good job. Okay. Coming up next, we're doing upside down jacks. We're going to start with our hands up overhead and our feet together. When our hands come down, one foot is stepping out to one side and then on the other side as well. We're fully transferring our center of gravity here. That's what makes this so fun and interesting, and a little bit kind of toning for your legs, your inner and outer thighs when we take that big step out. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Of course, having your hands moving like jumping jacks means that your heart rate has come up too. We're always thinking about having excellent form with all of our exercises and moving, I was going to say as quick as you can, but honestly, it might not be as quick as you can. Moving at a quick enough pace that we're still getting all the cardio benefits. The 10 seconds of rest that we're getting with this particular workout means that, here's 10 seconds of rest, speaking of that, means that you might be able to move slightly faster than you would in an exercise with no rest. The thing about all of my workouts, here we go with upside down jacks for the third and final time. Hands are doing jumping jacks. Feet are just stepping out one side and then stepping out the other side. I'm always having you pay attention to your body. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before. When we do endurance workouts, I want you to think about your pace because I don't want you to be going too fast. This particular workout, coming up next, we're doing punch down tap outs. This particular workout, we do get to push a little. So punch down and tapping out with your foot, punching down and tapping out. And I did that on purpose because sometimes it appeals to me to go a moderate workout, but have small doses of a little bit faster pace. It's a little bit, 10 seconds of rest. For me, it's a little bit of a feeling like, okay, I'm still kind of pushing without pushing too much. Here we go with those punch down, tap outs, finding what's moderate and what's too much. My friend, I'm on a 2-year journey at this point. I've been thinking about moderation for, well, maybe like 1.5 years at this point. Hard to say. Definitely over 1 year that I've been thinking about how to be moderate, how to live moderately, but also how to work out moderately. Coming up next, we're doing those punch down tap outs for the third and final time. It's it's not easy. I love to push. I am not a lifelong exerciser for sure, but I've been exercising regularly for 15 years. I love to push myself. For me, coming down to moderation had a lot of mindset shifts that came with it. Thinking about doing what's best. Here's 10 seconds of rest. And coming up next is skiers. Hands are going up and down in front of your body. Feet are shuffling back and forth below your body. For me, and for lots of you, I'm sure, thinking about doing what's best is kind of different than thinking about doing what you want to do, right? And for so many years, we were told that what was best was to work harder. But that's not always the case. Here's 10 seconds of rest. It's definitely not the case when we're losing weight, and it's kind of not really the case just at our age in general. Yes, you can still push at our age, absolutely, still capable, still can push while maintaining your weight, but you have to think about what's the right thing rather than simply pushing. And for me, a girl who has always pushed, not always, but the last 15 years, here's 10 seconds of rest, and then we're going to do those skiers for the third and final time. After 15 years of pushing, this feels different. And I want you to know that that is why I make these workouts that are really efficient, so that we can actually feel that we're getting a lot done in a little bit of time. Now, I know you're thinking, Paula, you promised me some standing abs, and I did, because we've only got one more cardio exercise before we move into 10 seconds of rest, before we move into the standing abs portion of our day. Coming up next, we're doing can-cans. It's our final exercise in our cardio, not a circuit, in our repeating, no repeat. Here's a knee and a kick, and a knee and a kick. Once again, you can get your hands into it or not, totally up to you. We're pulling in our core, we're thinking about good form, while we're moving the right amount of quick to keep the workout moderate. And maybe the individual intervals, 10 seconds of rest, maybe the individual intervals slightly more than moderate, so that you get that good feeling. When it beeps again, we're doing can-cans for the second time. It's funny, I very frequently say second and final time now. I like to do 2-round workouts. That almost came out of my mouth, but it's not the final time yet. We're going to do these can-cans one more time, but then that is going to be it for cardio, and then we're going to do some standing abs, my friends. We're going to get strong abs. Here's 10 seconds of rest without getting down on the ground. Truly, one of my favorite things in the world is to get strong and to feel like we've really done something. Here's can-cans for the third and final time. To really feel like we've done some shaping work, some toning work. I know you would love to have some nice flat abs, my friends. I'm not going to promise you that. What I'm going to promise you is strong abs, even better. You can look like you have flat abs. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're going to do wide stance, side bends. Feet are wide, hands are wide out to the side. We're going to bend down, oh my gosh, without letting your hips move at all. Now let's think about where your knees are, that they are soft but strong, that your hips are soft and not even soft, they're strong. Your hips are not moving at all. This is abs and obliques, which is the sides of your waist. Here's 10 seconds of rest. We're just going to actually stay in this position because we're doing this the exact same way. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 3 times for each exercise. So hands are nice and wide. This just kind of gives our shoulders a little bit of a break on some of these exercises. With standing abs, we are moving significantly slower. This is not cardio anymore. We have changed gears into strength work. We are thinking about having strong abs, obliques, strong, deep core stabilizers. This is the kind of work that will do something even better than give you flat abs. This will keep you on your feet for the rest of your life. If you have strong abs, you've got everything, my friends. Here's our third and final time with these wide stance. Ooh, side bends, awesome job. Thinking about moving slowly, we're not trying to get a ton of them done, but we're thinking about doing them properly. Using your abs and obliques to do all the work. Coming up next, excuse me again. I'm gonna do twisting wise. And yes, I'm still kind of tapping my feet. My heart rate is still quite high. Feet are super close together. Hands are out in the letter Y. We're gonna twist and reach down a little bit. So you're aiming for whatever you can get to. For me, it's like mid-thigh, more or less. Ideally, if you are super flexible, you might be able to get like behind your knees. We're thinking about crunching down and twisting to the side. Here's 10 seconds of rest. I'm gonna keep my feet together so that I don't have to think about it, but I'm gonna bounce a little bit on my toes. Again, my heart rate, still doing that thing that heart rates do. By twisting down and around, we're actually working everything in your torso. I know you don't necessarily feel it, but we're working your chest and your middle back as well, having your hands out nice and wide like this. And of course, having it up over your head means that your heart rate hasn't come down too much. Here's 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're gonna do those twisting Ys for the third and final time. This kind of work, my friends, this kind of work, oh my gosh, is super important, super effective, even in small doses and definitely without getting down on the ground. Every little bit that we strengthen our core and strengthen our abs adds, oh my gosh, fall prevention years to your life. 10 seconds of rest. Coming up next, we're doing crossbody crunches. Feet are about hip width apart. Hands are here on your shoulders. Going to reach your elbow towards your knee while your knee reaches towards your elbow. This is slow and controlled. While you are standing on one foot, I want you to think about not locking that knee. Oh my gosh, this is balance work now. We're finishing it off with some balance work here. Our very last standing abs exercise. 10 seconds of rest. I'm gonna still do this one 3 times. I know. It's weird how this little bit of work does not feel easy. That's the great thing about ab work like this. You don't need to do a ton, but you do need to do some. And I know that getting down on the ground is a barrier for lots of us. I don't want to get down there and see all the cat hair either, frankly. So when we can do this kind of work on our feet, here's 10 seconds of rest before we do those crossbody crunches for the third and final time. When we can do this kind of work regularly, oh my gosh, we will see tons of benefit. Like everything, we are working out smart today, my friends, and I will tell you that the next time it beeps, we are done, but we're definitely not finished. I've got one final thing for us. We are gonna get 10 seconds of rest, but then I've got a little bit more balance work for us, gonna keep us on our feet as long as possible. We are doing a star balance hold, and we're going to do that for actually 30 seconds. So we're gonna do one, well, it's not one interval. So star balance means that hands are up and then we're gonna tip over to the side, wherever you think you could recover from and or wherever you can hold on to. It's going to beep, but that's our 10 seconds. The second time it beeps is when we're changing sides. So it's one work interval on each side, but it'll be 2 actual intervals. I hope that makes sense. We're not moving yet. How about that? I'll just verbally walk you through this the next time it beeps. We're coming up slowly, and then we're going to tip over to the other side. Here it is. We're coming up slowly. We're tipping over to the other side. We're finding our balance. I don't know why this one's harder on this side, but it sure feels different. Making sure that you're breathing. Unclench your toes. Core is pulled in tight. Knee is soft but strong. We're hanging on to this one. It's going to beep, and that's not us just yet. The next time it beeps is the last time it's going to beep during this workout. What a good job you're doing. And then we're going to cool it down a little bit. Not too bad at this point though, right? We got a nice sweat, but then we did that standing abs work that actually acted as a bit of a cool down as well. I'm still going to have you cool it down with some nice arm circles because I still want to tell you what a good job you did today. And I'm going to reinforce for you, my friends. I know you're looking at your clock. I know you're thinking about all the years that you thought you had to work out for an hour or more. And I'm going to tell you, this was enough. It is. The thing that drives weight loss is eating the right number of calories consistently, not working yourself into fat storage mode, my friend. The harder you work, the harder it is to lose weight. I'm going to keep telling you that every time we do these weight loss workouts because I want you to know that you can meet your goals And be kind and gentle to yourself. Be loving towards yourself, not just push, push, push. And moderation is kind. It is gentle. It is loving. I know, sometimes the push felt loving too. I know, I feel the same way. My friends, speaking of loving, let's open it up nice and wide. Stretch out that chest, open up your heart, and then let's close it up and give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a pat on the back. Today was a fantastic day. You worked out smart. You worked out hard enough. You did exactly what you need to do to meet your goals. That, my friends, my goodness, that's as good as it gets, right? I mean, that checks all the boxes. I love it. I love it. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you so much for working out with me. Make sure you click the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you in the next video.